The University of New Mexico says it's doing more to improve its handling of sexual assault and sexual harassment on campus. UNM recently reached an agreement with the U.S. Department of Justice, which had found the school was not complying with federal law. New Mexico in Focus correspondent Gwyneth Dolan looks more this week into how the university plans to move forward.
My guests today are Heather Cowan, who is the Title IX coordinator in the Office of Equal Opportunity at UNM. Caitlin Henke is the interim director of the UNM Women's Resource Center, and Lisa Lindquist is the director of the Lobo Respect Advocacy Center. Thank you all for being with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Heather, I want to come to you first. This year, a survey of the UNM community found that nearly 10% of students said they had been sexually assaulted while at UNM, and 25% said they had been sexually harassed. For students at UNM, for their parents, for all of us, those numbers are shocking. Why is this happening? What's going on?
Unfortunately, our numbers are actually a little lower than the national averages. So there's no real great answer as to why sexual violence and sexual harassment and gender discrimination are such a large problem on every college campus across the country. I mean, I think what I do think is great is that people are now finally talking about it. I think this has probably been a problem forever, and it's just only been recently that we've really started changing the national conversation around these issues, especially in higher education. So for me, in my position, it's just really exciting to see the great forward momentum. You know, if people don't report instances like this to my office or to the university, then we can't address them. So the more people who report and tell us when there are problems, then the better we can do to address when it is occurring and educate and prevent for the future.
Caitlin, sometimes, when we're talking about reporting, sometimes these students are people who come into the Women's Resource Center and they say, this is a thing that happened to me today or 2 weeks ago or a year ago. What is the impact on these students of these experiences?
Incredibly deep. That trauma can affect them and follow them and impact them for years. And I think it kind of has a ripple effect in their classroom performance, their relationships, the way they relate to the world and their peers. So I would say it's humongous. And I think we're really getting to a place now where we're really talking about being trauma informed and what that really means, and that has meant a lot to kind of our collaboration in general, I think.
Absolutely.
So this, this period of healing and trying to deal with it and cope with it, as you said, can interrupt their studies, but it can also sort of alter the course of their university experience and impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then their whole life.
And their whole lives, right. Lisa, the Department of Justice found that after its investigation began, UNM did take steps to improve, although it still needs to do more. What is UNM doing now to prevent sexual assault and sexual harassment?
Sure, we have a pretty extensive prevention education that we have been rolling out. Actually, for the last 2 years, all of our incoming freshmen have received an in-person interactive training where they get education not only on prevention of sexual assault, but bystander intervention. That's a really important piece. Consent, how to get consent, how to give consent, and then they break up into small groups and they have a discussion about those topics. So we feel like it's been a really great opportunity to get the dialogue started. That same training we're going to roll out to the rest of our community. All of our students are going to be taking this training in person. We feel like that's the best way to gauge the information that they're getting. It's, rather than sitting in front of a computer and doing the initial training online, which we will do later on, because it's a lot of time for anybody to engage in this process. But that will include not only our incoming students, that will include our current students, our grad students, med school, law school. So we're very excited about the opportunity.
Let me come back to you. I know for some viewers get a little squeamish talking about what exactly happens in these trainings, but probably some of these students do too.
Absolutely.
When you're talking about bystander intervention, tell us what that means.
Sure. So I think the number one thing to explain is that we're not asking for people to put themselves in harm's way. What we're asking for people to do is to, if they see something, say something. That's kind of one of our mottos through our Protect the Pack initiative. It's really important to understand that you can affect the outcome of a situation simply by going to someone who's in authority or talking to your friends and saying, I think this is a really bad situation. I think we can probably help this person. And it can be something as easy as just walking up to them and saying, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? And hey, I think you may know this person, why don't we go over here? And then the person involved in the situation can let everyone know, hey, I'm good, or thank you, I'm now out of this situation and I appreciate that. So it's not, and really the other pieces, and I always say this in our parent orientations, it's really like the worst thing a person can do is videotape it. That is not bystander intervention in my mind.
And I think what's really exciting is, so when we did the survey that you mentioned at the beginning, 65% of our students have reported engaging in some kind of bystander intervention over the last year. And that can include actual intervention, exactly like what Lisa was talking about at a party. And it can include things like speaking out against sexist, racist jokes, rape jokes, things that perpetuate rape culture. So we're really proud of our students.
And consent is the other thing that you were talking about. Caitlin, let me come back to you. What does it mean when you're training people to talk about consent?
I think for a lot of people on a college campus, this might be their first time that they're actually engaging in this conversation. And I think for so long, people were kind of hooked into the script of no means no. So really kind of unpacking that and looking at, it's really yes means yes.
It's much harder to say no.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lack of no doesn't mean yes. Right. And I think really looking at teaching people about enthusiastic consent and what that really looks like, and then really with that looking at coercion.
What does enthusiastic consent look like?
An Herbal Essences commercial. I think that the person is really fully engaged in the experience, that the consent is ongoing, and that people are really having good ongoing communication about, does this feel good? Do you want this? Yes, I want this. Touch me there. That it's a conversation. Right. And
that is not how things have been.
No.
With all people in.
No.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we use, one of the tools we use is it's a consent is like tea video that seems to really start the conversation. So if you haven't seen the video, I think everyone should check it out.
Would you like some tea? Yes, I've seen it.
Exactly. Yeah. Would you like some tea? When you're passed out, nobody drinks tea. So I mean, that's an important lesson, but it's a way that we can share that in a place that brings a little humor and lightness to it, but allows students to have the conversation. I show it to our parents at parent orientation because I want to encourage them to have that conversation with their students before they get to the university.
And we sort of skipped over that, but the idea is you can't ask someone if they want tea if they are too drunk to answer you, or if they're passed out cold. Exactly. So you're not going to get the kind of enthusiastic consent that we were talking about here.
There should be no doubt that all parties engaged in any sexual activity want to be doing that.
Absolutely.
So that's part of the lesson.
That sounds like a good time. Yeah, generally speaking, yeah. Heather, the Department of Justice found that UNM did not have a good system for students or employees who needed to get help when they experienced sexual harassment or assault. So what is UNM doing now to make sure that everyone knows what to do, who to call, where to go, how it works?
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's important for us to recognize that we've actually put a ton of steps in place to correct that issue prior to the review, prior to DOJ's review being given to us. So like the Lobo Respect Advocacy Center is our sort of first stop for everyone. So everyone across the whole campus can call the Lobo Respect Advocacy Center. They can walk in, there's a 24-hour hotline.
Is that in the sub?
It's across
the University Advisement and Enrichment Center. Yeah. We're on the second floor.
Okay.
So that's a really common building. It's where you go for career services. It's where you go for registration, financial aid, advisors. It's
kind of
a common building. So that, I think, is our number one. Then we also streamlined our policy and procedures, and we've rolled out a ton of training to faculty, staff, and students on where to go, who to call, what to say, what not to say, all of those kinds of things. And obviously it's ongoing.
And the report also found that UNM was taking too long to investigate these things, that there wasn't a clear process for that. How is UNM speeding up the process of investigating allegations?
So we've streamlined our claims procedure, which is the procedure that we use to do any investigation. So we've tightened the timelines there just procedurally, administratively. We've added a fifth investigator because obviously workload is the number one reason for delays in our investigation. So, and we're always, trying to train our investigators. We're reviewing every process that we have for efficiency to try to figure out all the different ways that we can create timelines that the investigators can actually stick to and that actually work for the students, staff, and faculty who are bringing their complaints towards us. And we're assessing all of our efforts to try to see where we have gaps, where we have holes, where we can improve.
So at this point, Caitlin, if you were speaking to a group of students who happen to be watching today, what would be the one takeaway you wanted them to have on this issue?
We're here to support. I think the three of us at the table really deeply care about this issue and here to really offer any support we can. But to students, I would say to really know that we're all in this together and that everyone shares a responsibility at the table to change rape culture, to call each other on behaviors that are absurd, ridiculous, mean,
dangerous,
and that we can all change this culture together. And I'm hearing that when I'm meeting with students now, that there is a sense of responsibility that I think people who before thought that's only a women's problem or has never happened to me and so it's never going to touch me. I think the script is changing and I want them to encourage to keep engaging in that.
Lisa, just let me ask you really quickly, UNM is the biggest employer in the state with a huge amount of staff and employees and faculty. What's the one thing you would say to them here?
I think it's important for all of our faculty and staff to know what resources are available on the campus for our students, to understand that we have lots of systems and processes in place that can be helpful. They just have to engage with us. We are there. We've been going out to different departments, meeting with staff and faculty to say, here's where we are, here's how we can help you help your students. Because at the end of the day, particularly our faculty, are on the front line. They're engaging with our students the most. So just knowing what is available to help students, I think, is what I would like for them to know.
And they do sometimes reach out. So go to Lobo Respect Advocacy Center on the web and find out there. Caitlin, for parents and family members and friends, what would you say to them?
I think, we would probably say that when you are approached by a student who has experienced something, that it can be difficult. We've been sort of conditioned to say, that's not really what's happened. That can't really be it. And so rather just sort of flip that and say, you're bringing a concern to me. I don't need to know what actually happened, and I'm not trained, I'm not an investigator, I'm not, in the criminal justice system. So I'm never gonna probably know 100% what happened, but what I do know is that you are trusting me in this moment to come to me and talk to me, and I appreciate that you shared your concerns, and I wanna help you, and I wanna support you, and I wanna have whatever experience you've had not derail your academic experience, your university experience, your academic goals, your career goals.
So don't dismiss it, listen, and be a buddy who can help them navigate whether they're going to come to the Lobo Respect Advocacy Center or whether they're going to stop into the UNM Women's Resource Center. No matter what, listen, be there. And Lisa, now I got my names turned around, Caitlin. The UNM Women's Resource Center is not just for women, am I right?
Absolutely not. It's for everyone, and open to the community as well.
And where can we find that?
The center, it's in the back of Johnson's Field, in between the Shack Health Center and the University Advisement and Enrichment Center. We have the only red door on campus.
We'll look for the red door. And we will be following up on UNM's progress as it moves through the requirements that the Department of Justice put on, so we will catch up with you again. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.